We got some cool stuff to talk about. So,
Some
so
cool
yeah,
stuff.
I got back from a Rivian road trip last weekend. Pretty crazy, over 1,000 miles. We drove almost all the way to Canada. We didn't quite go into Canada, but
Yeah.
as far up in Maine and as far east as you can go in the U.S. Right?
Did
Um,
you see a moose?
we did not see a moose.
Ah,
You know, I know my wife Brandy wanted to see a moose. She's never seen one.
I went there. I went to Maine once,
Yeah,
and the first day I saw a moose.
really.
Yeah,
I think they're
almost
afraid
hit
of her.
us.
But it was pretty easy. All these like horror stories about charging. With the Rivian, you can use the Tesla supercharger network with the adapter. And Rivian's really rolling out their fast charging network because there was one in Freeport and all the way up the East Coast. Kittery, there was one. So and they're all empty. There's maybe one other Rivian there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that was super easy.
But is it an open network then?
It's
Though?
not. It's only the Rivian Adventure Network's only for Rivians right now.
Oh,
And it's
huh.
like the supercharger. It's plug and charge. You don't need any app. You just plug in and it starts charging. So yeah, they were in some pretty nice places. They all worked fast charging, and then a few times I used the Tesla superchargers. Like as we got up further north, that's all there were.
Yeah.
Um, and they work great with the adapter. That's also plug and charge. Just put the adapter in, plug it in, it starts charging.
Hmm.
So pretty cool. We
Very
stayed at an
cool.
inn that was about 100 miles from the Canadian border, and there were no more fast chargers, for that
Yeah.
100 mile stretch. So I had to kind of plan it. So I charged up to 90%, and then we went all the way up, and I was
Yeah.
just carefully monitoring that I had enough to get back to the
Did
charger.
did can you plug that in to like a at the
Yeah,
hotel at all or?
yeah. You can you oh At the hotel they did not have charging. They possibly had an outdoor 120-volt outlet I could have plugged into, but
Yeah.
it was kind of tight. Those places, the parking was kind of tight, so I just kind of didn't really worry about it.
Oh,
Yeah, I could have
but
gotten
you
probably.
made it.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Well, the inn was only about maybe 15 miles away from the fast chargers.
Oh,
But
you're fine.
then the Canadian border where we went is 100 miles away from the inn.
Yeah. So how do you
So then
how
you got to
how
plan. You got to plan that you have enough to get there and get back.
Yeah, so with a 90% charge, you were able to do it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I had plenty. I got back to the inn with 50%.
Oh,
I used
geez.
20% each way.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, it was easy. You got to plan for it. You don't want to get there 0% and then be like, oh wait, there's no
That's
chargers.
actually pretty good. I mean, I have mine charged to 80%,
Yeah,
and I drive to work and then back, and that's only 66 miles.
yeah,
And I burn, like, I'll have 45% actually.
yeah. You're flying too, though. I was like, these
Yeah.
these roads were they're probably smaller roads, under 50 miles an hour.
Right, right.
So I was in. I put it in conserve. I only use the front motors.
Oh, there you
So
go.
that and then when we got there in this little town, it's called Lubick, Maine. They did have level 2 chargers at the library, so we plugged in there. And we went and got something to eat, and I think we got maybe 20 miles of extra range there too.
Oh,
So yeah, you just gotta do a little planning if you want to go to these far away places, but it's pretty simple to do.
yeah.
Pretty simple.
That's
So
cool.
pretty cool. So all right, so you want to talk a little bit about the private cloud solution that Ingenious is coming out with? Yeah.
Yeah, so that hasn't been it's not really officially released, but it's another option for our customers.
Yeah.
So it's called Ingenious Private Cloud. It's basically downloadable uh, cloud software
Mm-hmm.
or cloud
Is it
Ingenious
a
Cloud.
VM? A VM that runs
It,
on?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you'll be able to load this on your server
Okay.
and run it, right? So that will be coming out soon. So yeah, it's going to be another option. So now you have Ingenious Cloud, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you'll have private cloud, and depending on your preferences, you can use either one, right? And it will work on all the cloud. At first, it won't work on all the cloud devices. Like it will work on switches and APs. Not sure about the gateway yet,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it should be coming out shortly.
Nice, nice. Because there are most people love the cloud. It's free to use, right? License free.
Yeah,
But there's a small subset of people that, for maybe for some sort of like regulatory reason or whatever, they need to have like on-site management, right?
yeah, yeah. Like in Canada, the servers have to exist in Canada, for
Oh,
example,
okay, okay.
right? So they could use that and have that, stationed in on a server in Canada.
And it can do, so it could do multiple sites. If you have
Oh
your own
yeah,
private
100%.
cloud.
It will work like cloud.
Okay, okay.
Obviously there's some differences. Feature set wise, organizations and networks, it will work very similar to cloud.
All right.
And then there's some extra items on there where it will eventually have to call in
Yeah.
to a central server, um, but on occasion, not. And I think that can be set on a schedule or set by the administrator. But there's still some things happening. But yes, this is something that will be coming out.
All right. So if anybody's like waiting for that, it should be coming soon. We'll try to get some more information about it maybe next week.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, if anybody's remembers Easy Master, we
yeah.
still get requests for Easy Master,
I know. I
like
was still gonna.
a
I was
lot of
gonna mention
requests.
it.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention it. All right. So and then I had another customer ask me, which was a good question. Like, there's not a lot of Wi-Fi 7 client adapters out yet, right? There may be some USB ones coming or available, but not a lot of Wi-Fi 7 adapters. So if you just rolled out the ECW 536 or 526 and you have like a device that you want to connect at the fastest speed, 6 gigahertz, whatever, there is another option. You could use one of these access points in meshing mode, right?
Right. Yep.
Now, it's probably not going to give you the best performance. It may have some idiosyncrasies, like you may not be able to get two-way traffic with it or something, right? You should be able to. I haven't tested, but
Yeah.
um,
You
but it
should run
will
a
work.
test on that, actually.
Yeah, if you have a device as an Ethernet port, you could, connect it to the PoE injector and then to the access point directly, and
Right.
then put it in meshing mode, and it'll mesh back with the rest of the network, and that thing will be online probably as fast as it could be. Now, I would probably configure a couple things. I'd probably take all the SSIDs off of that access point so no other clients are trying to jump onto it.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah.
That
For
way,
sure.
you're not losing that. You're not getting that 50% throughput hit from those other clients.
And you can do that. You don't have to have SSIDs on there at all.
Right,
I don't
right,
think.
right. So if you do
Because I
that,
mesh on 2.4 and I
mhm,
don't have S. That's not right. Yeah, I think you can turn it off, but I'm not. I
I
would have
think
to
you
look into
can. You,
that.
you definitely can because you don't want, if you are doing this, you don't want like to have 100 other clients jumping on that
Yeah.
access point because you're gonna be, oh, it's slow. You want to have them utilize the wired ones.
Right. Yeah. So
So
I would utilize the 4x4, the
yeah,
536.
536. So in like if it's a medical cart or something like that, like that's kind of
100%.
something you could do
Yep.
this with, right? So that's a good idea. And then we saw some new firmware get pushed out for the 536 and 526 to make it even operate even better with the new iPhones, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. For multi-link
For
operation, right?
yeah, so the multi-link operation with the three different bands, it's being refined. I see other manufacturers also, pushing firmware updates so that the interoperability will be better, right?
Yeah, other manufacturers may not even see, or I should say vendors, right?
Yeah,
Other vendors may not even see it yet. Maybe they've reported the issue, but
yeah.
yeah, there's some weirdness to it,
Some
right?
some fine
So
tuning needs to be done. And there's gonna be a lot of these iPhone 16s out there, like in a matter of like weeks, like the
when I got mine, I had to go to the AT&T store to get it started, right? Because
Yeah.
I sold the phone, the
The,
other phone first.
oh yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
and there are a lot of there are some there are a couple of people in there, and one I noticed like uh, companies are buying the phone for like their employees and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people have this phone, so they can utilize Wi-Fi 7 now. So I mean, you should be updating to Wi-Fi 7.
For sure.
That's my that's
That's
my
of course we're going to say that, and here's the proof.
that's my
So
takeaway.
there's a speed test that that you liked on LinkedIn, right? Sierra Hotel Network ran this one.
That's been yeah, he does some as you know as well as you. He does some beta testing for us, and he's always smart, very smart guy. But yeah, he's ran multiple tests on the 526 and the 536.
Yeah, so he's seeing like over 3 gigs on the 526 using this Fast Connect QCA Fast Connect. Now, maybe that's a Qualcomm card. I'm not really sure what the adapter is because the one that most people will use is the Intel B200, which I have here.
Yeah,
And that one I'm getting over 2 gig, but I haven't seen anything over 3 gig yet, like he's getting. So
yeah, and that's the 526.
that's the 2x2, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, it makes sense because they're all 2x2 adapters for the PCs anyway, right?
I know, but just saying a 2x2 getting that much
Right.
speed is
Yeah, because
crazy.
the processing power in the access point is less than the 4x4 and all that, right? So you would think the 4x4 should be possible to get even faster speeds.
Well, yeah. So, do you want me to mention those speeds?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because so the 2x2 again is 3.5 down and 3.2 up,
Yeah.
and the 4x4 is 4.1 down and 4 up.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow. So I'm
Yeah,
wondering if that I bet he has an adapter that it's a 4x4 adapter of some type.
yeah, I'm sure.
That's what he's measuring. Um,
Yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah.
so yeah, these incredible speeds are possible, um, for sure.
Yeah, very very cool though.
So yeah, so definitely upgrade, and we just got the 10 gig switches in with PoE plus plus. So, you'll at least for the 536 you need to have PoE plus plus.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So that's that. Yeah, the ECS 5512 FP.
5512 FP, we just got those in, so we're ready for Wi-Fi 7. I think it's time to upgrade now that the iPhone's like in everyone's hands.
Yeah, heck yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.